Waterfront Commission meeting on October 6th at 6:30 PM. Treasurer's report. Do we have a treasurer's report, Leslie?
We do.
No, you know what, this is the easy run, I did not, in my packet, I did not have a treasurer,
Oh,
I did not have a treasurer report.
You do not know, because I don't usually mail those. So we
Okay.
can either hold it for the next meeting, or I can just read what I have. It's your call.
Just read it.
Yeah, well, usually, yeah.
Okay, the current balance in the Waterfront Commission's account is $1,700. Budgeted amount is $1,850. Meetings, 150, leaving a balance of $1,700.
Okay, can I get a motion to accept?
Stephanie Hayes Houlihan, motion to accept.
Michael Grimshaw, second.
Okay.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Previous minutes. We have one correction. Previous minutes. Mike, you want to tell what that is?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it says it's in the next to the last bullet point where it says Mr. Grimshaw added. It's down there after Sandy stated the first selectman mentioned that grants are available, and then he wrote, it says it should be Michael stated, or Mr. Grimshaw stated, he was contacted by Colleen of the DEP. So that's the only error. It should be my name, Mr. Grimshaw, there instead of E. So I'm the one that spoke to the DEP. Other than
You
that,
have that, Leslie?
Yes, I will make the correction.
Okay. Can I get a motion, any other changes? Can we get a motion to accept the previous minutes?
I, Robert Goes, will make a motion to accept the previous minute.
second, Grimshaw.
Seconded, I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's hard to see who's raising their hand.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
So moved. Under old business, dock area maintenance repairs invoices. Somebody have some of that?
Yeah, Leslie's got two from us from our association meeting on the 14th
Okay,
of September. One was to do with roof repair on the ice house. The other was to do with repair on the seawell facility that was part of the foundation on the old ice house.
The
I
total,
don't have the dollar amounts, Leslie's got them.
yep, the total invoice for
Leslie,
Pawcatuck Roofing is $3,512. And the invoice for Seawell block work, and I do not have the actual invoice in front of me, but the dollar amount is $3,750. That's what was approved at the Sneffler meeting, but Ted Whipple still has that invoice. I didn't get my hands on it yet.
okay, do we want to pay any of this, Mike?
Yes, please. I'm not sure.
Houlihan, make a motion to pay the following invoices.
Second, Grimshaw. Okay.
Can you read them again, Leslie?
Sure. Pawcatuck Roofing, and that's to install the metal roof panels on the ice house, is $3,512. And for the Seawell building block work is $3,750 for a total of $7,262.
Okay, whoever made that motion, you wanna, that's the motion to pay that amount of money.
All right, that was me.
That was
So do
Stephanie?
you want me to that was me, Stephanie Hayes Houlihan. Do you want me to repeat the exact, I'm sorry, I should have written it down.
That's
But
okay.
if you give me the
That's okay.
total amount,
Yep. That's okay, Leslie has that total amount.
Yes.
All
Do
right.
I get a
Okay.
second?
I second.
Ethan Grimes, second.
Second motion.
Okay, Ethan Grimes seconds the motion. Any discussion on it? Is there any discussion?
The only thing I got to say, Mike from Grimshire, is I'm not sure if he gets paid back to the worker. And paid these bills already, and we're looking for reimbursement from the Wharfage. I'm not sure which, unless it says that, Leslie, I'm not sure how that went.
Well, on the Pawcatuck roofing, it's written down on the bottom, paid 1,500, waiting for invoice. But usually,
Okay,
that will be like indicated with a check number. So I'm, but either way, these invoices will both be paid, and if they, to the working account for, them,
Yeah.
these, companies to be paid for the work.
right. Okay, that's all I wanted to make sure, we just didn't do it twice.
Right.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Opposed? Okay, motion moves. Any other dock area maintenance stuff, and it needs to be brought up?
Yeah.
Mike,
Well, it could be brought up, but Bobby knows is on it too. I mean, we're down with the ice machine right now. We're trying to get it repaired. We're trying to look into purchasing a new one, whether it's through grants, a loan, our own money. But it's Bobby, you can add to it too. It's just, there's no easy answer. I mean, and whatever the conclusion is, it's going to take some time, and we're trying to work with Crystal Ice up in New Bedford, sending their trucks and their portable unit down here to service the boats that have to get ice, and it's costs more money, of course, and it's got to be scheduled, and more like the fuel was in the beginning when things weren't quite settled yet. Communication is the biggest thing. As long as you have communication, it pretty much can work out, but it's just not like pulling under the door and say, hey, give me 10 ton. That ability is going away until the machine is fixed. It's in the process of, Bobby might know more about that because he deals with Eric a little bit. Eric Hansen, our guy, does the repair work a little bit more regularly than I do. Go ahead,
Bobby, you have anything you want to add?
Yes, I do. We are insured with the ice machine too. We have an adjuster is working on it now. I emailed him. He came down yesterday and took pictures. It's the older machine. It's almost 29 or 30 years old. And the whole auger system let go on the bottom. It's all rotten, and it's really going to be a pain in the ass to fix that. Everything's outdated with what it uses for power, what it uses for water. But what we're trying to do is get by. Is we have the other ice machine, but we only have one place that distributes it, and that's in the other machine that lets it blow into the boats. But there is an old auger system that's there that we can use the one ice machine we still got and move it to that place and blow it into the boats. It may take a 2-week fix, but we're just buying time until we have to replace an ice machine in that other building. We're doing a lot of research now. We got everybody's talking to people from Mr. Gilbert, one of the guys who owns the big scalpers. He's talking to guys down in Florida, New Jersey, New Bedford. And we had a man come down from New Bedford give us an idea,
Yeah.
But this is all new now. 30, that stuff is all old. So we're trying to see how we can update it, and there is money available through FEMA. And I talked Diane Cheeseborough about it, Danielle Cheeseborough, and she was going to look into it more, and she has been talking to this man, and so there's some stuff available. So we're trying to find the best option we got and go with it. Right now, we're just trying to work as tight as we can. It's a lot more expensive. It's coming down over the road, but we have to have it to go fishing, and
Yeah.
we have to deal with it now. The boats are going to deal with it themselves, and then we're just going to, hopefully in a couple of weeks, be able to go back in operation.
Okay,
Like, sure. It's not just the boats, mind you, with this ice thing. It's the fish buyers too. They need ice to pack the boats out, and one of them, I think they both generate ice, but it's not enough. So it's just compounded.
This is Sandy. I spoke with Danielle Cheesebro also, and what she wanted, the fisherman to do, I spoke with Mike the other day. She would like to, come up with a price for either to fix the ice machine or for a new one, and also to replace whatever the piling on the North Pier need replacing. But she needs an amount of money, or a round ballpark figure, because there are grants, and there's the grant, I don't know who it's from, but it's the one that was going to the state, and I think it was going for the fishing fleets in the different harbors. I'm not positive, but I think that's what it was for.
All right, so I, obviously, Mike Grimshaw, I didn't get nothing to hand you tonight, because we're doing this over the phone thing, but to probably repair the machine as it needs to be fixed now, we're probably talking at least 25 to 30,000 to do the repair. To replace the machine with a 20-ton machine, and these are guesstimations, because you don't know till you start doing it. I figure 350 to 400,000 for a new machine, and as far as the North Dock goes, it's probably a minimum of 150,000 to replace those pylons, because they're a little longer than what we use normally on the other docks, because the other docks are lower, I guess, geographically or whatever, but they're taller because of the big boats dying over there. The dock is higher up. So, I'd say you could spend 150,000 just replacing pylons without any other carrying supports being bad or any other anchors.
Okay, what we should do is, once you have that amount kind of a little bit turned up, we should go see Danielle, one of our members, and either Mike or Bobby or all of us should go up, make an appointment to sit down with Danielle and give her those figures so that we can get it being worked on. Does that sound good to everybody?
Absolutely, good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't think we don't need a motion on anything for that. All right, does that take care of the dock area maintenance, repairs, et cetera?
I think so. Unless you got something else, Bob, that I'm missing.
No, just hopefully this insurance will kick in a little bit. We've been paying all these years.
Yeah.
Some of the downtime, maybe get some of the stuff fixed without, getting a grant for that. But the new machine we're gonna have to really go after.
Yeah, we'll have to, there must be monies available somewhere. It'd
be so much more economical, everything has changed. Electricity used to be a lot less. And the water's getting more expensive. This uses a lot less water, these new machines, from what I understand. So I think it'll be a good step forward.
Yeah.
Right, maybe it's time to do that.
Yeah, Mike Grimshaw, part of what we got, we're hoping that we can use the same delivery system, which is what blows it from where the ice accumulates, that gets weighed and goes out on the boat. If we can use what we have, that'll cut the cost down, and just put a new machine that makes the ice into the house, that would be good. But, if that's not available, to be able to use for both machines when they're both running, then that's the problem. It's going to escalate the cost. Right now, like Bobby said, the old system was able to switch back and forth, but eventually it just went by the wayside, and we just ran one machine and pretty much rusted in place. The ability to switch from one pen or one machine to the other, so that the same delivery system could work. It's just a matter of which direction the ice was flowing from.
Okay.
So that's what Eric's trying to fix now.
So we should go, when you get everything, the money all set, give me a call, and anybody who would like to go, we'll make an appointment to go see Danielle and sit down with her, because she will try to chase things down for us. I'm sure of that. Okay, moving on.
My only question before you move on is, I don't know how we're going to get, unless we just bring print-offs off the internet on prices of machines, right, Bob? And we won't know the final cost of the bill from Eric until that's done. And same thing with McGugan's. You know, we have a bill somewhere that we were gonna show you tonight for in front of Gambadella's that to be fixed. We have that somewhere, that estimate, but, you know, what we're talking about is about, because we looked into it, but nobody gave us any formal quotes, that's what I'm trying to say. We don't have no formal documentation from, you know, ABC Ice Company or whatever, saying this machine would cost this much.
They're coming.
Yeah, well, I know, but
One guy was down.
I don't wanna wait,
Over at that.
so, you know, I don't wanna wait 2 months to bring it to her. I mean, we can go up there and give her about, like I'm saying, because I'm sure we're close in the range, the numbers I said. Yeah, what do you think, Bobby? That's about what?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's ballpark.
But the guy is gonna give us some estimates, and Joe has some estimates. I haven't seen them yet, so we'll be able to see. Have a better idea.
All right, Joe told me the one he showed me was a 20-ton one was about 200 and, just under 300,000 for that, just a machine to make the ice.
Right.
And so, I mean, I know we're close.
Right. That's one. Yeah. Right. That's one. But I mean, just to make sure we get a few other quotes are going to be coming in. The other guy that was there for New
Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely. But I just trying to expedite going her to see her, because I know she's got to do work on her end to acquire the funds. The longer we wait, chances are somebody else is going to friggin' tap into it.
Right. No, but she wants to see a little bit of paperwork too. I think we can have that by the end of the week. That's no problem.
That's good, that's good.
All right, that's good. And when we get it all together, give me a call, and if someone else on the board would also like to go, is there anybody else would like to go with us?
If it's not Bobby or myself, I would think Peter Bazette would probably be another good choice, right, Bob?
Yes.
Okay. And I'll go also. I'm free during the day to go. Okay, moving on. Historic town dock signage, state and local. Leslie, do you have some information on the local one?
Yes, I submitted a letter to the Waterfront Commission. I'm sorry, to the Waterfront Commission, to the Board of Police Commissioners. And you have been placed on their agenda for their meeting this Thursday at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, do I need to bring anything?
I don't think so, Mike, because the way the meetings work is it'll come up on the agenda and then they'll ask you to speak, and basically what you've said in the Fishermen and Lobstermen Association meetings and at previous Waterfront Commission meetings, I think is satisfactory and makes sense.
Efficient. Okay. All right, that sounds great.
Stephanie speaking, do other members from the Waterfront Commission need to be present, or should we be attending this meeting?
I don't necessarily think you have to, but if you could, it would show support from all the board, and Mike can actually attest to that, being president of the Fishermen and Lobstermen Association and a member of the Waterfront Commission.
All right.
Yeah, so that's on the local side, and sorry.
It's 5 o'clock this Thursday. Is it by phone, or is it WebEx or Zoom, or you know how they're doing their meeting?
Do you know, you go on our town website and their agenda is posted just the same as ours is. Now, Mike, honestly, I'm not sure. I believe that they are meeting in person because the chief of police is there, the captain is there, and it's a bigger room.
Okay.
But
It's that room right there.
yes, the meeting room at the and what I'll do in the meantime is let me go on the website quickly while we do other things, and you don't have to wait for me, and I'll find out about that. I should have.
Okay.
It is at the
Thank you.
police station, though, right? Police station?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mike, I will go also. Stephanie, you'll go?
Yes, I'll go.
Anybody else want to volunteer to go?
If you're around, Bobby, that night.
I'll try to make it.
That's
Yeah, if
Bobby.
you can't, don't worry about it. They know my name at the police station, so Roddy or me.
There you go. Okay, that's good. We've handled that. On the state level for the signs, on 7 different days, I've called this guy. I called him yesterday again over the, since our last meeting. And each time it says leave a message. I left a message with my number. He's never returned my call. So I don't know if I should call my state representative or to call somebody like Scott Bates, because I don't know what department this comes under. I don't know if it's the Department of Transportation or whatever, but I don't know what to do because I called him again yesterday morning and it said leave a message. I left a message. I haven't heard from him at all.
Okay, this is Leslie. I got that number from Sue Cullen, who is the new director of economic development up in the planning and zoning office. I will check with her tomorrow morning about that, because in her emails, that's the contact name and number she gave me for the state level. She was very, very helpful. And Danielle was CC'd on those emails as well. And also I did find the Board of Police Commissioners, they have not posted their agenda yet, so that's why I'm not certain. But I will get in touch with you, Mike, Stephanie, and Sandy about if you can attend the meeting, or if not, how you sign on.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
That sounds.
Thank you.
All right, and Leslie, would you let me know about when you talk to the girl at the town hall, because it did say that's the department when I called it, but he's just not, and it's like that person, and they're not returning the message.
Oh, okay.
So let me know what the girl at the town hall says, okay?
I will.
Okay. Donahue Park. What, any information on Donahue Park that we have to know?
No.
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of. I did get a call, Leslie, I called the woman that you, gave me her number to call. I don't have the name right now, but this lady, that she called, she lives in Pawcatuck, and what they would like, she has a friend that lived in Pawcatuck right by the park, and her son died of an opioid overdose, and what she'd like to do is to plant a tree in his memory, or bushes of some sort in his memory. And what I told her to do is that I would run it by the people. I didn't think any of us would have an objection to do that, but I told her to also call the first selectman's office and to ask her about it, and to then see the tree warden and figure out where they could like that over there. Does everybody think that's an okay idea?
Yeah, you know who it is? Mike Grimshaw.
It's the lady that wants to put it up. Her last name is Bruno. The lady that called me, I got a whole mess of things here, and I don't know what her name was now.
I was just curious who the kid was.
Yeah, she was from Pawcatuck.
Yeah.
So Stephanie Hazelland speaking, I think it's a very good idea. Would there be any kind of signage or plaque or something like that stating that this tree is, honoring or is in memory of this young person that took their life? I think it's a good idea, not to recognize or to be in memory of a lost soul, but also there are a lot of opiate addicts in that area in Donahue Park.
Right.
And it might serve as a really good reminder to those people that are still, in the crux of their addiction, that are still using drugs. So that would be another good reason to have something like that in that park. It might save a life. You never know. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in, and I would agree with it as well. Thank you.
Okay, this is Sandy
Mike
again.
Grimshaw weighing in.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
ahead,
Thanks, Ken. I don't have no problem with a sign or a tree getting planted in memory of. I don't know that we need to. I have mixed feelings on saying what it was and he took his life or suicide or it was because of opiates. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know if his mother
it
would want
opens a can of worms.
Right.
It opens
All
a
right,
can of
Stephanie
worms.
here again. Maybe it doesn't need to be specifically, maybe you don't have to be specific to this person, being that this tree is in memory. Maybe it doesn't, it doesn't, we don't have to be, the wording doesn't have to be specific to the person. But I really think that some kind of message, I mean, let's face it, my daughter lives there, and I'm going to tell you something. Donahue Park is a place where people go and shoot up drugs, all right? And that's not a secret. And I think that, some kind, whether it's, I get, a memory of, but I just think that, I think there needs to be a stop to it, and or some kind of reminder or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm being out of line. Maybe, and Mike, you're right. Maybe this should be merely in memory of this young man, and maybe his mother does not want that, anything else other than that done for her son. But that's where he shot up his drugs, and that's where
I didn't
people
know
are
all
still
that.
continuing to shoot up their drugs.
And I still didn't know any of that either.
I just think it's, it's really sad. And I just, I don't know,
You got Elm Tree Inn right there too, and that's a haven for a friggin' drug dealership too, and I don't care if I'm on the record,
No, I hear
everybody
you.
knows it. Everybody knows what goes on there, just like there's supposedly a bunch of hookers around it. I ain't never seen any of them, but I was told they're in the area there, but I don't know, I guess if you ain't looking for it, you don't see it.
Anybody else like to say anything? Anybody else like to make a comment? Anybody? One of the, who's this? June, is that you? Okay, I thought somebody else wanted to speak. This is Sandy. I think that what we should do is, I want to get a motion that we're in agreement to do some sort of planting in honor of the person. And then we can let Danielle and them and the tree warden get together with the woman who wants to pay for the tree to be there, and let them decide what they want to put on a little plaque. That way we could leave it up to them. How's that sound?
that's fine with me. That's Stephanie speaking, Stephanie Deland.
Okay.
I'm sure same.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve that we're in approval of planting a tree in honor of someone who died, and we'll turn it over to the first selectman to contact the lady with the tree warden. Can I get that, made a
I'll make
motion,
it.
please?
Mike Grimshaw.
Robert Guzzo, I'd like to make that motion that Sandy just said. To plant a tree for the person that lost his life there in Donahue Park.
Okay, do you have that, Leslie?
Yes.
Okay, can I get a second?
I'll make it. Mike Grimshaw.
Okay, discussion? This is Sandy again. I don't know if the person lost his life there. He may have or may not have, but I know he died of an opioid overdose. So,
Yeah.
all right, can
Last thing,
sure, go right ahead.
Stephanie Houlihan, just one last thing about, look, I just have mixed feelings about, I by all means, because, the family that lost this young man is the grieving. They're the ones that are hurting right now. They're the ones that are grieving. This young man is gone. He's dead. As a result of his opioid addiction. I just feel that, I don't want to put, let's not, I just hope that this is not, drug addicts can go down there and say, oh, look, well, if I die, they'll put a tree up in my honor. It can't be, something, I don't know.
Heroic.
I don't even have words for what
Nothing
I'm
heroic.
trying to say, but I just think that, it's a travesty, when a young person dies of a drug addiction. And if we have an opportunity to, send a message somehow, some way to people that gather in that area at Donahue Park, that, and maybe it'll say it on this plaque. Maybe the family of this young man will say maybe that'll be in agreement with Danielle Cheesebro. But, I just think that, in order to save other lives, like, let's not let his life go be in vain. Maybe this can be, maybe this memory or can, maybe save another life by simply putting some words together, And I'm sorry, I'm not being very eloquent with my words right now, but I think I'm conveying, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. So, thank you.
This is Sandy again. One of the things that the lady on the phone told me, because it's her friend who's the mother of this boy, and one of the things she said, this kind of a thing will help the mother grieve for her son, and I think that's important. Okay, can we get a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Who's opposed?
You know, it was more for me and Alex when we had the beer and the whiskey wing.
I can't hear.
I can't understand.
I think somebody was flipping papers or something, that I heard noise, but I can hear everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
All right, can I do this once again, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
okay.
Okay. Anybody opposed? So moved. Okay, the next item on the agenda is Stonington Small Boat Association launch discussion. Talked to Tucker. Tucker would rather meet us in person when we have an open meeting. So I told him we would invite him to our next meeting when we can all meet together. So we'll go on to the next one. Mystic Boathouse Park discussion. Leslie, what would we like to discuss on this issue?
Well, it was left after the last meeting last month that the Mystic Boathouse Park wanted support from the Waterfront Commission, and several of the members present brought up, well, what exactly are they supporting? And I think we were going to get some more information. We were waiting on some more information from the Mystic Park. Let's see here.
I want to see, if somebody needs to talk, I don't, just say your name if you want to talk.
It sounds like background noise, Sandy.
Yeah, let's be background noise. I went to see Danielle about that. She was gonna look into, she told me she wanted just, she was gonna, I don't know if I should say, she was gonna write some ideas down and send them back to us. So I'll go have her send them back, because we had until, I don't know if it's October 15th or something,
That's pretty
to
quick.
do that. Because that's when the state's gonna decide whether to give them the grant, I think there's, so I'll go back, I'm gonna see, her on Friday, or I'll go Thursday, as a matter, or even Wednesday. And I'll talk to her again, and, what I'd like to get is everybody's opinion. If she gives us the ideas, are we all willing to have Leslie write that letter?
Mike Grimshaw, I'll go first. I voiced my opinion, I think, last meeting because of the fact that they wanted us not to be involved with it, even though it was Stonington waterfront property, yet here we go, we want endorsement from us, the Waterfront Commission, when we've been left out of the loop, even though it might have been Rob Simmons doing, I think, if that was I remember the reason why. How the hell can we support something we know nothing about?
I agree.
Unless you read it in the newspaper.
Stephanie,
That's just my opinion.
Stephanie Glenn speaking, I kudos what Mike Renshaw just said. I agree with him.
Okay. How about you, Ethan? What do you think?
This is Ethan Grimes. I'm reading over the notes, but I don't quite get what they were asking for. I wasn't at the last couple meetings. What are they looking for support?
They're looking for us for support from, the state is deciding whether to give them a grant, I think. And,
Grant for what?
A grant to clean up the place and to fix it. So that, because they haven't been able to raise enough money to build a building, but they also have some, there was waste there that was buried long ago, coal dust waste. And they're looking for, I think they're looking for a grant for the state to,
Remediate.
money to remediate that.
Well, sounds like some kind of subject we dealt with before that we didn't get no help with. Oh, I wonder where that was.
The only reason,
Mike Grimshaw.
okay, how about Bob? What do you think, Bob?
I don't have too much information. I didn't follow it once. I don't know.
Okay,
What did you say? I did.
what about you,
Stephanie
Gene?
speaking?
I
All right,
support
go
the
ahead.
idea, but I
All right, go ahead, Gene.
support the
Go ahead,
idea,
Gene.
but I think the Waterfront Commission, like Mike was saying, needs to be involved with what's going on.
Now, who's this talking, Ethan?
This is Ethan,
Okay.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm saying that I agree, the idea for mediation, I like it, you get a grant, but I don't know why the Waterfront Commission should be involved.
Oh, why we
From the
should?
get-go.
Stephanie speaking.
No, the Waterfront
Stephanie
Commission
Bland
should be
speaking.
involved. Yeah.
That's right. We don't understand why we were not involved from the very beginning. We were excluded from all of this, and a lot of money was put into this project, and there was a lot of controversy over this, and a lot of taxpayer money was spent on this project, and now they're looking for approval for us for remediation, which should have been considered from the very beginning of this project. So I don't know. I think we need more facts. I think we need more information. I would just like to have a little bit more information.
Right.
I think
That's
that
what
we
we asked
deserve it.
for.
I think that they owe it to us. If they want our recommendation, then they need to tell us exactly what happened here.
Okay.
And why
Mike
they
Grimshaw,
need
you know why, what happened? We got politically ousted. We were just circumvented. I mean, they went around us politically and left us out of the loop because it was somebody else's pet project. And you talk about cleanup for that. Well, we have other town property like the dock. We just did the fuel tank. And sure as hell, we didn't create the mess that was down there, but we could have used money for cleanup or whatever had to be done in this last project, because a certain amount of that cost, even though it was minimal compared to what it was going to be, cleanup, it could have been used for that too. But yet, now we're going to rally around something that they took us right out of the picture on to say, oh yeah, we're right behind you guys. Well, what are we behind?
Yeah.
I don't know what we're
Yeah.
behind. It's for the kids, it's the boathouse, but they bought the property blindly. All this testing they did down the dock, the test sites, the test holes about taking a tank out, they sure as hell could have did it over there where those barges were, knowing that it was some kind of commercial activity there. To what extent, they didn't know, but a couple of test holes, some site test holes would have told them something before they put all that money into that basket to buy the property.
Agree,
Okay.
Stephanie.
How about June? June, do you have anything to say?
Excuse me.
Is June there?
He was, I don't see his phone number anymore. He was
He
number,
had a bad connection or something.
he was number 41. And I don't see his number there anymore.
He must have got off or he didn't get in. Okay, the one thing I want to say is that, we have a different selectman now. And when I went to speak with her, I told her exactly how we all felt, which everybody has expressed their opinions now. I think it's a good idea for them to have a grant if they can get it, but I kind of agree with everybody else. But what Danielle did tell me was that that was Rob Simmons not letting us be a part of that. And I even asked, when he created this, I even asked him what we should be a part of this, because we overlook all the townside properties. And he said that was his choice not to have us because not our constitution, but our
Charter.
whatever it is, that charter, because our charter says that the selectmen may or may not use the Waterfront Commission. So he chose not to have us on there. Danielle chooses to have us on there. In fact, when I talked with her, what she wants us to do is, once this project gets done, she wants us to work with the Recreation Commission so that that place is used for the public to be able to go there, not just for the crew team. That this money wasn't spent just for the crew team. Supposedly it was spent for all the people in the town to be able to go there. So she does want us to get involved. But I do agree with everybody's sentiment. What I'll do is I will go see her. I'll make a point of trying to see her tomorrow at some point, and I will have either her email everybody what she would like us to do, and but right now, from what I get from everybody, is that we really don't want to do that, and I'm in agreement, just because of the way we were treated by the former first selectman. Because he took us out of that, he took us basically out of the dog park and did it his own way.
Yeah, dog park was the other one, right?
So I do not think we got a lot of respect from the former first selectman. So I will go see her and I will relay how we feel about it, and then I'll see what she would like to do about that, okay? Is everybody in agreement with us doing that?
Yeah,
But I
sure.
will say that all of our members did agree that we want to know more about it, and that also, why we weren't, other than it was the first selectman's choice. And I don't think Danielle feels that way. I think she wants us to be a part of that. And so we'll go from there.
Because this was a town property. This was a town purchase of what? This was a town purchase of waterfront property, correct?
That's right.
The town, what happened
We had no oversight. I mean, at the time, we had no oversight of this property because it was not in possession of the town yet. So maybe that's one thought. I understand, but I also would like to know if the first select woman is in support of this remediation. What's her thoughts on it, and is she behind it? Which I'm sure she probably is, but
she is. She's definitely support, because she's the one that asked us to write a letter. And I think she understands how we feel. But this was a $2.2 million purchase, done at a town meeting, which had never been done before. And probably at that time, the selectmen should have put it up for a vote, rather than they packed the meeting with crew team, parents and everybody else and supporters, and they passed it, and the first selectman, rather than put it out for a referendum to spend that kind of money, they didn't. They okayed it right then, and it's turned into a big boondoggle, a major one. Number one, the deal was that the crew team would have to raise the money to build a building. They are way short. And their head fundraiser, he resigned from the committee finally because people started to turn against the project. And they came out with what it wanted to look like, and it looked like a Taj Mahal. And so the public, I don't know how much the public is for it, but it belongs to us now. And of course, like you said, Mike, instead of them drilling some holes to find out if there was contamination there before we purchased it, they didn't, evidently. And
No, it was just poor proper management and planning.
Yeah, I think it was a cold watch.
Yeah, you remember sitting next to, it's not Chicken Little, but Seaview or whatever the hell.
Right.
Yeah, Chicken Little was over there.
Yeah,
Kitchen
That's what
Little.
it was, Chicken Little. But I mean,
I will go relay that, I will relay that message to Danielle, and tell her if she wants to get a hold of everybody and explain it more, then we'll deal with it. But at the time.
she'll have to call me, not text.
Yeah, because we've been left out of the loop with these things. Though she did say she wants us in the loop, especially when the project gets completed and they want to do recreation there. She'd like us to have a say in all of that. So we'll go from there. Okay, moving on. Any new business?
Hey, before we jump on the new business, Sandy, Mike Grimshaw, I just wanted to back up. I know you said we were gonna wait for Tucker to show up, but is he coming about the, let me see my paper here. Yeah, is he coming about the, what was it the last time? It's not the access, but the expansion or?
No,
The expansion or the fact?
He's coming about, we looked into whether, we talked the last time,
Right.
he wasn't there, about whether that is a public launch or like a small boat association. And, Mary McCray.
That's what he's,
Correct me if I'm wrong, Leslie. She looked up something, and it's supposed to be, they looked back into the original agreement, and I think it's supposed to be a public launch. Is that true, Leslie?
Yes, I found it and told Mary because she was stating that it was not. And the letter from Conway and Lonergan, the attorneys for the town, February 20th, 1996, to June Valenti in the selectman's office, states in the first paragraph, the Small Boat Association maintains the property to allow residents of the town of Stonington a place to put their boats into their water. You have asked who under these facts should be considered a resident of the town of Stonington. It is my opinion that a resident of the town is any person who resides within the town regardless of how long that person has resided or intends to reside in the town. And it goes on,
That
but,
sounds,
and then
okay.
in the second paragraph, then in the second
in
paragraph,
minutes it says,
okay,
it says expansion. In the minutes it says expansion.
right, but then there was discussion. You all made the decision not to allow the expansion, but then a discussion went on about this being public and not being public. And in the
Okay.
final paragraph, it says, I am of the opinion that the Waterfront Commission cannot discriminate among the different types of residents of the town, i.e. permanent, temporary, summer, transient, etc. For the above cited reasons, the town in this situation must adopt a broad definition of who is resident and cannot restrict the uses of the property in question to only full-time residents. So in my mind, after looking that up after our last meeting, was it's public, according to that letter.
Yeah. Okay, but,
Yeah.
what I was, this is Sandy, what I was confused of, because when I thought public, that meant any Tom, Dick, or Harry from anywhere in the world could come down and do this.
Yep.
But this is obvious, that it's only people in the town of Stonington.
That's kind of big.
Yeah, and again, Tucker has stated that he doesn't want to police it. I mean, how? Yeah, I don't
Right,
think it can
right.
be
I agree.
differentiated. So, but I don't know.
But he doesn't wanna,
You know,
Stephanie,
how, you know,
all right, and just a quick question. Are there any, areas where people can launch their boats that are waterfront properties that belong to the town of Stonington, police? Do we, is this a practice that we have with any of our waterfront properties? I mean, is anyone policing, any of the other, the other launch areas, the public launches, like, for example, Barn Island? Maybe we don't have any jurisdiction over that, but,
no, this is
that's the
state.
state, right? But,
We-
but are there
We have
any
some
other
boat
areas?
launches.
We have some boat launches, so are we policing those? We're not really, are we?
No, we
People
don't
launch
need,
their
It's
boats,
incident.
basically, right?
yeah.
Pardon?
this is Sandy. What we have, there are some right-of-ways to the water. They're mostly on, we looked over them years ago. Maybe we should do that again. And there's a public boat launch at the end of, just before, if you go down the street that goes along the water in Mystic, just before the south entrance of the, Mystic.
Resort?
Yeah.
Treatment plant? Oh, that's right.
Early as possible anyway, get all the streets.
That's right. Like Crawford's doing
That's a
us, yeah.
public, that's a public boat launch, but I don't know if that is only a
Yeah.
boat launch for people of Stonington. There's also a boat launch down on Riverside Drive, which the people that live down there have taken over.
Walk and talk, right?
Claim it's theirs, but it's really a Stonington, it was a right-of-way to the water owned by Stonington. So
That's where
sometime
those
they gotta
weeds
look
are,
at,
right?
and that's a boat launch. The other boat launch
That's on
is
River
along-
Road, right, Sandy?
Right, yeah, when you go down River Road, way down, so you gotta go all the way down to the end of Riverside
Oh,
Drive.
but I'm talking about right there, when you come out of that right-hand turn there, when you looked at the water, there was, I guess it's close to that treatment plant, or is where the steamships used to be, the two ferries grounded, that far away right there, going out.
Yeah,
That was, I don't know how that got lost. The weeds grew up, nobody tended it, I don't know.
Yeah.
But there was right away right there.
right. There was 14 right-of-ways on the Pawcatuck River. Many of them were given away by Mr. Spellman, and other people just took them over. Some people even sold them. And, so we had a big mess on our hands way back when,
Isn't it one at Donahue Park too?
yep, that's next door. That's the, Workingmen's Club. They have the boat launch there.
Is it?
Which they're allowing people to launch their small boats there.
Well,
Before-
Stephanie speaking again, Stephanie Hazelhead speaking, I think maybe we should map out the
Sites.
areas that, the sites, the waterfront, the sites that we oversee, that the waterfront commission of, we should find out what these sites are. People could be selling these right underneath our nose.
Oh, they had.
I think we need to know what we're responsible for. As a commission for the town of Stonington, God forbid anything happens to anyone at any one of these given sites that we don't seem, I don't think we have do we have a list of,
Clear picture, no.
do we have a
Somebody
list?
has it.
We have
Somebody has it?
we had a
Yeah.
whole, we had sheets that came, big things rolled up, that showed all our right-of-ways. There was a whole bunch of them, and we kept them at the dock down in the office for quite a while up on top of a shelf. Then because the town didn't want to get involved with that, we asked the town to get involved with getting these right-of-ways back, because people were selling them, people were buying them, and everything else. So it's something later on we should get involved with, so that we should have all these right-of-ways. I mean, it was access to the
They should
water.
be posted, wherever they are, Mike Grimshaw said, they should be posted.
There's one over going up, if you turn at the flagpole in Mystic, heading up towards the seaport, where the old town jail was, and it's where there's a little inlet in there. That at one time, that is a right of way to the water there too.
I know what that is.
Boat launch, the boat launch is farther up. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Houlihan speaking. Just a quick question. Is this is information that we can obtain from town hall, maybe from Keith Burns, who might have a list of all of these waterfront properties?
Yes.
I'm
sure it's
one of us can go and find out, get a list, and we can, at the next meeting, go over all of these areas that we need to maybe have a discussion about.
Yep, you're right.
And especially in considering what kind of meeting we're going to be having with Tucker Bragdon in regard to this docket, the Small Boat Association. So I'd be happy to go over to town hall, or be happy to speak with Keith Burns if nobody else wants to find out. Or
This
maybe
is Sandy.
that would be something you would do. I don't want to overstep my
No.
boundaries here.
I would be happy to have you go. Now, is this Keith Burns, is he in the planning office?
Yes, I think, so he comes to I'm on the Conservation Commission, and he attends all of our Conservation Commission meetings. So I don't know that he's not the town planner like, Jason Vincent was, but he has, I don't know, he was the first person I thought of to ask, because he knows a lot about zoning and that sort of thing. So I would think maybe he might know about this as well. Maybe not.
Right.
He may not have any idea.
Yeah.
But
Rose
we'll
Rappo,
find out.
yes, Rose Rappo was big on this, but of course Rose passed away. But we did have all these things that must have come from the planner's office or somewhere. So if you'd like to go up and just research that to find out, they were in big roll, like a roll. It would be all rolled up, and it would have a map of the town in that area, and it was marked off where the right of ways were on the part.
I'll look in the dock office. I'll look in the dock office
That used
and
to
see
be,
if anything
we had
there.
that, they were in the dock office for months, these things. I don't know if they're still there or not.
Well, we had that
Nobody
too,
should
so I don't
go,
know if they went away.
nobody should go in the dock office until
Yeah,
they're
no.
sure that's safe,
I'll shoot, Stephanie speaking, I'll shoot an email to Keith Burns and see if he knows if he has any information that might be helpful to us.
Yeah, just tell them it's the right of ways. All right,
Okay. All right.
let's go back to the small boat. When we talk.
I got a question about that.
All right, go ahead,
Yeah.
Mike.
When you read that agreement, Leslie, was it part of the Longo purchase, or was it something separate?
It was something separate, apparently, because again, like Sandy
Okay.
said, Rose spent a lot of time on the right-of-ways. And, obviously this had come up from the Waterfront Commission before. And so June, on behalf of
Yeah.
the Waterfront Commission, sent a letter to the town attorneys, and this was the town attorney's opinion. And it's based solely on and this is when they first leased it, the Small Boat Association
Yeah.
in 1996.
See, I'm wondering why, if it was all part of the Longo property originally, I can't remember if Pete, the lobster place that was there, where the condos went up, in the boatyard,
Pete Rozlewski.
was it include? Right, was it part of that property we acquired, or was it part of the Longo purchase? All right, and that's why they got a lease that we, they always gotta check with the fishermen and da-da-da-da-da. Is that why they had to refer to us? Because it was part of our property that we let them do their thing on, that we lease? And that's why they thought it was private, but in reality, if it's a different purchase that they got from the boatyard and Pete Nalewski property, and that's why there's what you're talking about, Leslie, this separate agreement in writing. I'd like to see that,
Because
where it
it's-
generated from.
It's a town-owned
Yeah.
property, and
Yeah,
that was part of the lease, from the letter, but like I said, I went way back and found this, so, I had
but
intended
where
to
did
bring it
get
for
there?
everybody
How
to
was it
see.
acquired?
This-
How was it acquired? Was it part of the Longo property, or was it something different they did over there? That's what I'm saying. It might be a right of way because they decided to make it one, but it might in fact be part of the town property. It's like with a sewer treatment plant. When they refer to that whole area, they talk about the dock, the Longo property down there. That was all part of it.
Right.
And
I would
we
say,
don't know
this
if
is Sandy. Go ahead, anybody go ahead.
This is Ethan. So we don't know if the boat association is part of the town property parcel that the fishing docks are on. Is that what we don't know?
That's what we have to find out.
well, I'm just questioning it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That's maybe why somebody has a conception it was private or that it's public. Based on where it fell in line with the town when it was purchased.
Yeah. This is Sandy. What I would assume is that was part of the Longo purchase because, Pete Wisniewski had his area right, next door where the condominiums are. And Pete Wisniewski would never have given some property to the town of Stonington ever anyway, because I know Pete.
Yeah.
And, for a small boat association, no, there's no way. So there must have been some agreement with the town must have said, all right, when they decided to let the small boat go there, they must have talked to the fishermen or somebody back then to allow
That's
that
what
to
I'm
happen. Yeah, that's what I think
I'm
that
sure
would
there's
be
a way to
it.
find out if that's true or not.
Yeah, because
I agree.
I think that's why conception that it was private. If they leased it as part of the property from us, we gave that up to them because there was no use for us to use it, where there was no protection and all that prior to the condos going, the dock minimums going in there. I mean, that's what I think, but
That's where the big surge comes in. Go ahead.
right.
This is Ethan Grimes. What expansion are they trying to plan? I don't understand it from the minute.
It better go up because there ain't no other way to go up.
Probably move
They didn't
further
tell
onto
us.
the green, move further out onto the green, because that's the only
Oh.
place they can go. Yeah. That's
Okay.
the only place
Yeah,
they can.
we said no.
Towards the porta potty and the electrical
We did
panel?
say no.
Is that
We did,
right?
I'm sorry. Stephanie speaking,
You say no, Leslie?
we did say no because we felt that there are quite a few boats in that area already that, can that small dock area sustain more boats that are not already there? And so the more boats, the more congested, for that small little launching area. So we had, at our last meeting, had said, well, it's probably not a good idea. I didn't say no.
Okay.
And we gave a few years ago, we gave the small boat
Right.
association some extra property, and that cost us. Rose Rafa resigned from our committee the next day because she felt that we were gonna end up giving them the whole field that's over there eventually.
Yeah, I was
They
on
would
there.
keep
We
asking
did more
for
after that too, Sandy. Like Grim
Yeah.
said, we did more after that. We came closer
Right.
to, we put that where the sitting thing is, the bench, and closer to that electrical box as far as they could go within safe distance, that panel box that's there. We left, I don't know, 10 feet or whatever the hell it is.
Right. I agree with it. I agree with everybody that we shouldn't let them expand area-wise. I'm more concerned with who gets to launch their boats there. I understand that Tucker doesn't want to police it, and I would just say that if it's a Stonington resident, that we let the selectmen decide who a Stonington resident is. Usually to do things in the town, you had to, it's like to vote in a referendum, in a money referendum. You either have to be a resident or you have to be, own property in the town of Stonington. So I would think that, I have no problems with Stonington people doing that, but the more people you have launching boats there, the more chance there is that somebody's gonna lose their kayaks or whatever else they have, small boats.
More liability.
Because,
I would like to
yes,
add
and there's
something
more
more to
liability.
what you're saying, Sandy. Stephanie Houlihan speaking. Not to mention that, they are not responsible for lost or stolen boats.
Right.
I've had a kayak stolen from there, and I know several people have had kayaks stolen from there, and they're expensive. And so, whose responsibility is it, if this continues to be a pattern, where there is no policing in that area, where people can come in and take a boat or whatever, where do we draw the line, and who is ultimately responsible? And when my kayak was stolen, the Small Boat Association said, sorry, I called,
Yeah,
I made
right.
a police report, that was it, but somebody else could get a boat stolen and want to point a finger at somebody or say, well, somebody's responsible here. Is it the Small Boat Association? Is it the town of Stonington?
Well, they're signing a contract,
For
aren't they?
stolen property?
Yeah.
Pardon? I don't know. What was that?
You guys signed a contract,
He
police.
signed a contract, and he signed it saying that they're not responsible.
Right. Yeah, that's one of their rules.
I have to review that I have signed, when I used to store, Kelsey's boat there, there was a contract, but I can't remember exactly what it said on it.
No.
But probably not. I would think that they would have a clause in there that would say that they weren't responsible for stolen property.
Oh, I'm sure they do, Stephanie. I'm sure
Yeah,
they
they might.
do.
I would think
Look at the lobster pots. $60,
Yeah, right.
$70 a pop, and then they just walk off by themselves.
They do.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Mike, look at everybody.
If it would, that was one thing.
Yeah, look when they used to get
But out of the
jugs
wire.
stolen, too.
Oh, yeah.
They used to
Listen,
rob the jugs.
I have to get
Okay,
going. I'm sorry.
That's okay. This is Sandy. What we'll do is, when we get Tucker there, we'll talk to him. I think he doesn't want to police it themselves, which, I just want to make sure that, to me, I don't know if you can stop the people in Stonington that live here. I just want the people that live here to be able to use that. I don't think out-of-towners should, although the Small Boat Association does have members from North Stonington. So I think anybody that's a member of that organization should be able to launch a boat there. But I don't really think that a guy that runs a training class for kayaking and all of that should bring a big busload of people down there from all over to launch their kayak. If the Small Boat Association wants to have like a group come in like once a year or twice a year, that's what they've done previously, and have a night them doing that, I don't have a problem with that. But, I mean, if it becomes a big commercialized place, you're gonna have even more problems. So we'll talk to Tucker, we'll invite him to our next meeting, and we'll talk to him about it. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, one last thing here, we have correspondence. Leslie, you have correspondence from the Wood, Pawcatuck, Wild and Scenic Rivers.
Yep, they just sent a letter last month asking if anyone on the Waterfront Commission would like to be an alternate representative with the Wood, Pawcatuck, Wild and Scenic River Commission or Council.
Would somebody like to do
Is that a
that?
town commission?
No, it's the Pawcatuck Wood, what is it called, the Woodshed, or Rivershed?
Wood,
It's a big organization, yeah. It's, the Wood Pawcatuck is an organization, and what's happened is the federal government, they got the federal government to declare the Pawcatuck River a wild and scenic river. And, they were supposed to, but they had to work with both Stonington and Westerly because, it goes right to the middle on either side. So it's a good organization, and it'd be great if somebody's interested in that, because they're big into using it for kayaking and all kinds of good things. And I guess they can get grants and everything else to help on the river, and that sort of, I know, and I can't think of his name, who's big involved in that, and I know him too.
Fred Wagner, the letter is from Fred Wagner.
Yes, Freddie Wagner. Freddie Wagner's the one.
Yep.
He's big into the Pawcatuck River Woodshed thing. Ethan, would you like to be on that? I don't think they need to. Yeah.
I'll take a look into it. I just don't know about timelines and what I can get for the work schedule.
Okay.
I mean,
So-
I'd be interested, this is Stephanie speaking, I'd be interested, but I also, like Ethan, I just need to check on the timeline and also, also what days of the week they have their meetings and what time they have their meetings, because I work nights.
Right. Leslie, do you
I can
have,
get back to you.
okay, how about Leslie, do you have any information in that letter, how they do it?
I do. I can forward it to everyone. Again, I made copies and was going to pass them out here. I don't like to have too big of a mailing to everybody, but I will send that all to you.
Why don't you,
And I'm going to send
Yeah,
a
why don't
copy
you
of
get
that
it?
letter too, the other letter.
okay, why don't you get the information to, Stephanie and Ethan first, and then, you can put the rest of it in the minutes for the next meeting, if you want.
Okay.
And is there a contact number there and everything?
Yes.
Okay, so Stephanie and Ethan, you can get together and call them up and find out all the information, and then let us know at the next meeting. Yeah, and if you'd like to, if you're interested in being a part of it, I'm sure the rest of us on this commission would be happy to let you do that.
Okay.
Everybody else okay with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
The other guy,
Okay.
I forget his name, what's his name? He's on
Gene?
the list. Gene, maybe
Gene.
he'd be interested in, too.
I will Leslie, what I'll do is I'll contact Gene and have him get a hold of you if he's interested.
Okay. Again, he was signed
Okay.
on, so I don't know. He might have gotten a call and had to sign off or something, but
Yeah,
he was
something
on.
might have happened.
We said hi to him
I
and
really do need,
Right, we did.
I do need to
Okay.
go.
okay.
Okay, we're gonna,
You know,
is there any other things anybody wants to say?
If there is, I can't think of it.
Adjourn?
Then motion to adjourn?
This is Ethan
Stephanie
saying motion
Houlihan,
to
motion to adjourn.
Ethan Grimes,
Okay,
second.
second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you very much for showing up, and
Okay.
we'll talk to you later.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
all.
everybody.
Great to see everybody in person.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Leslie.